What's up, y'all? I'm on the lunch break. While I'm doing the jobs, write down inspirations and things like that. What's the next topic on deck? Yeah. Gaining and keeping attention. That relates to ourselves, that certainly relates to others. If you've got employees, people that you're working with, I hate to say it, but if you're boring, if you're not keeping people's attention, that's no one's fault but your own. I was working with a substitute, I'm a assistant teacher, but a substitute was the art teacher, and I'm working with kindergartners, man, for one of my many jobs working with kids, working with kindergartners, and the substitute was just kind of expecting the kids to just be paying attention and to be, to keep going and, keep following all the rules and stuff like that. But the voice matters, the intonation, the way that you say things, especially with younger kids, but for people of any age, you have to talk with excitement. You have to talk in stories. You can't just get away with giving them the rules, the expectations, and expecting things to happen, right? Even a lot of teachers that have been working for years, they just get into this mode of, hey, if you don't listen to the rules, we're going to get angry at you, we're going to yell at you, we're going to take things away, yada, yada, yada. It's really not the kid's fault. You got to get them engaged. You have to get them in touch with the reason that they should be listening, right? How this relates on a personal level is you can't talk to yourself in such a way. You can't be the boring substitute teacher to yourself. That ain't gonna happen. Shouldn't happen, at least. You have to talk to yourself in such a way where not only do you listen to yourself, you're listening to yourself because it's fun, it's engaging, it's enjoyable. There's that tit for tat. You're going back and forth. Hey, what if this? What if that? Right? These what ifs compile on top of each other, and you start to get really excited. You're like, oh, this doesn't have to be boring. This doesn't have to be just another humdrum day. You get into it. You really want to do your best because you're realizing that the best is the best move, right? Best is the best is the best. Now I jotted something else on that front. Right. Like a moth to a flame. It has to get to that point where the light is what you're going for. The light, the excitement, the gusto, right? The real... It's not just the light at the end of the tunnel. You are the light and the tunnel, right? There's no beginning and ending. It's just a process. We're expanding, expanding, expanding. Like the end of a seashell. We're expanding in all directions. We're expanding multi-dimensionally. And to zoom out a little bit, it's like, why am I making these videos? Why am I using my time? This, by the way, the only time I have, for now, the only time I have to make these videos is between shifts, right? Childcare, teacher's assistant, childcare again, sometimes tutoring, sometimes other side hustles. It's like, and I still make these videos on the move, on the go. What's the point? The point is, I'm realizing more and more and more that aliveness is such a rare commodity. I want and need to give that out. I don't want to be surrounded by people who are deadening themselves, right? Partly it's just the culture and the way things are going, and you kind of like fall into it. It's like a fish that is swimming around, doesn't know that it's in water because it's everywhere. It just becomes the thing. right? For someone like me, and there are other people, obviously, to be outside of the fishbowl, to be swimming around, flying around, to be like, hey, this doesn't have to be the way that it has to be. If I have to create the light to do the moth to the flame situation, if I have to do that, so be it for now. But I want people excited. I want people more alive. And this is kind of accountability too, right? Where do we blame the teacher or the students? And I'm telling you, you blame the teacher. You blame the source of input, the source of teaching, right? If you are talking to yourself in such a way that's a little too authoritative or a little too lazy or a little too boring, and the things that you really actually want to do to breathe more excitement into your life, if you're not listening to yourself in those senses, it's your own fault. Talk to yourself. Talk to others in a way that's engaging, exciting, a game, a play, right? Play around with it. But it's very, 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 very necessary. Very, very, very necessary. Talk to yourself. Talk to others in a way that is not boring. Because the more that we're engaged and excited, we can create a world, a life for ourselves that we actually care about, that we actually want to get better, right? The opposite is just, yeah, life is life, whatever, do stuff here and there, this is cool, this is not, whatever, what's next, yeah, just a low energy state. No, go way beyond, way beyond. Destroy your current paradigm, get out of the fishbowl. There are beyonds beyond, right? Get out of Plato's cave, and then get out of the next one, and the next one, and these jumping out of paradigms, out of caves, they can take weeks, they can take months, but you jump out and you're like, wow, I feel more alive. Time to jump out of the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It gets easier, but you gotta do it every day. It gets more fun, but you gotta do it every day. It makes more sense, but you gotta do it every day. You enjoy life more, you enjoy yourself more, but you gotta do you every day.